Hey everybody, how's it going? And welcome back to a brand new video. Now, you may be wondering, what exactly am I doing right now? Well, it's currently -9 Celsius, and I am sitting outside in a t-shirt and a pair of shorts, which I know it's pretty damn genius, if I do say so myself. Other of you may be feeling differently about the situation, which is completely understandable. Now, you may be wondering why I'm doing this, and why I'm sitting in a chair too small for me. I can answer one of those right now, and that is, I thought this chair was bigger when I grabbed it. The other thing, why am I currently doing this? Well, first off, who doesn't love cryogenic therapy? Yep. And because, there's not really access to that, next best thing is Canadian winter. So that's what we're utilizing right now, is good old Mother Nature. Now, there are a few reasons why I am sitting out here doing this, one of which keeps my drink nice and cold. The other part about why I'm doing it is because cryogenic therapy, as well as exposing yourself to the cold, is known to have a positive impact on your metabolism. Time is currently 8:19, so I'll stay out here till 8:29. You're only suggested to do about 10 minutes of cryotherapy at a time, or like ice baths and all that. They recommend you do it 10 at a time. But I'll get this done and over with, and then I'll talk to you a little bit more about the subject. Now, as I was saying outside, with the benefits of how exposure to the cold does help you burn more fat. So there are two ways that it does this. The first way is with shivering and being outside in the cold, your body has to generate more heat. So like I said, shivering, it burns more calories in order to kind of make those muscles contract repetitively and therefore warm you up. The second thing is it increases brown fat, which I know sounds counterintuitive as you're trying to burn fat and it's creating brown fat, but brown fat actually reduces or burns calories and produces heat by itself. And so that is a helpful little benefit. Basically, brown fat is like blubber, essentially. So that way we can go outside and it does its own thing. We don't really have to think about it. It's the body's natural response to do it. Reduce of inflammation. Now, this is a common thing with ice baths as well as cryogenic chambers and whatnot, but because of the cold, it's basically like putting an ice pack on your body, except this time over a larger scale. And so it allows you to kind of just, instead of having to buy like 20 different ice packs and just elbows, knees, shoulders, they could just kind of let you all in one basis. Another benefit that not a lot of people know about is being outside in the cold actually helps with your CO2, or the amount of oxygen that your body is able to convert into the bloodstream during performances of exercise. And so most of the times this is associated with altitude, and hence why Kenya and Ethiopia are two of the best running countries, because they have that altitude layer where the oxygen is thinner, making it so that way when they come down to sea level, they don't have to have their bodies work as hard in order to get the same amount of oxygen they need. And so the reason that this does work is because of science. During the winters, all the particles in the air actually shrink, making it so that way your body has to work harder in order to get the same amount of oxygen. And, it makes sense, because during the summer, when the air is wet and moist, it's harder for us to breathe. And so now we're just having the opposite, about how the air's just dry and we're breathing all that in, and it's just making it so our lungs become more efficient. Now, it does do this on quite a minute scale. So like going outside and all that, it does play a small role. However, it's not the same as altitude, because just the way that it all works out, our air is still the same. It's just molecularly smaller. Their air is less dense air. So we have smaller particles at the same density. They have less dense air. Now, all that I could find for the negative sides of it was all based around one thing, and that is the length of the exposure. So with the length of the exposure is where things such as hypothermia, frostbite, and all the things that coincide with those become an issue. No matter how cold it is, there's always a gap of time. So like if you go online, you can always find a table of like, if it's negative 40 Celsius, you can go outside for 5 minutes and not have any repercussions. Essentially, that's not certified, that's based on person to person, because everybody will perceive it differently based on BMIs and all things like that. So that's the thing, with this being such a utilizable tool and having all the benefits that it does, why don't people really go outside and do this as much as some people do? Like, we all know Wim Hof, who lives and breathes in all of this. Like, he believes in doing everything in the winter, doing everything while it's freezing cold out. He has a meat locker at his house where he just walks in circles when it's blowing out absolutely subarctic temperatures. Now, the point I'm not trying to make here isn't to go and become the next Wim Hof, or to feel like it's a good idea to just take all your clothes off right now and go skinny dipping in a polar lake. That's not the message I'm trying to convey. This video is all about telling you the benefits of the cold, because like with the winter, like as a child we're all taught like cold is bad, you don't want to be cold, and it's just kind of given all these connotations. Meanwhile, it's just really misunderstood. If you feel like it, go ahead. Try going outside in a pair of shorts and a t-shirt. Some tips that I will give you right now are slow down your breathing, because a lot of times when you go outside, you start to shiver and instantly just slow it down, because as soon as you go outside, your heart rate becomes elevated as it begins to pump more and more, and that's what kind of creates the cold and like how you identify it. But if you slow down your heart rate, then what happens is your body will relax more. And heads up, try to stay in one spot or try to stay out of the wind, because based on the way that your body releases heat, and if the wind's coming, then it takes the heat away. But if you're in an isolated area, then the heat stays around your body in the air. That's a big tip. But, you know, feel free to give it a try if you want to. Feel free, comment down below your experiences with it, because I want to know if you guys actually tried it. Because, like, I know it's not always fun, and I know in different climates it creates different scenarios, as like if you're in an area where it's like negative 20 outside right now, just, you know, I understand if you don't want to do it, or if you go outside for like 2 minutes and you're like, alright, done. Like, I get that. Like, everybody's got different boundaries. Like, even if you want to go out for a minute and try it, like, feel free. If you want to go outside, open the door, and then you're like, oh, nope, turn around and go right back in. Completely get it. But just, if you feel like it, like, go ahead and try it. Comment down below how you think it went, or how it did go. But while you're also down there, feel free to comment, like, anything you want to see, anything you want to hear, anything you want to talk about, feel free to comment it all down below. Also, feel free to hit the like button as well as to subscribe. And, you know, with that all being said, I hope you guys did enjoy this video. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget, don't party too hard. And I'll catch up with you guys again next time. Have a good one.